Hi folks, Canadian Prepper here. Today on the channel we are going to talk about what you can do if you don't have access to firearms as a means of self-defense before and after the collapse of civilization as we know it. Let's get to it. I can't stress enough the importance of consulting the municipal, provincial, state, or even federal laws of your country when it comes to looking at what you can use as a means of self-defense. All the information that I'm going to provide you today is purely theoretical. I am not a self-defense certified anything, so it's very important that you cross-reference all the information I provide you. This is just for the purpose of giving you some ideas as what you might be able to do in a pinch. But again, it's very important that you consult the laws of your country. Different people are going to have a different set of physical capabilities. The purpose of the items that I showcase in this video are primarily for the purpose of buying you a bit more time so that you can get out of a situation or possibly stage a counteroffensive if that's within the realm of your physical capability. In future videos, we're going to talk about other types of means of self-defense that might employ things like firearms, range weapon like archery equipment, and even means of defense like body armor, Kevlar, even riot shields. So stay tuned for that. But for now, let's talk about some less commonly thought about items that you can use in a pinch for a means of self-defense. First up is a stun baton. I just bought this thing online a few months ago, and I didn't realize that in Canada these things are actually legal, but they have to be over a certain length. Now, if you live in the United States, the land of the free, the home of the brave, you can get stun guns that are much smaller than this, and these things definitely do work. There's also a thing called a cattle prod, which has a similar functionality, but these are a higher voltage, and they absolutely will stun. They do work through clothing. I'm not going to demonstrate how it works on the video today, but all you need to know is that it absolutely hurts, and it's definitely temporarily incapacitating. Part of the reason why I can't show you it is because YouTube frowns on that sort of jackassery in videos, and this video will likely be flagged if I show you. So all you need to know is that it's very effective, but it should not be considered a total solution for self-defense. If you have somebody coming at you who is drugged out and indifferent to pain in that moment, this may not be entirely effective. The great thing about this in its baton form is that you also get a flashlight, and it also doubles as a baton. Okay, this is anodized aluminum. It's fairly hard. Even if it breaks, you're going to be able to get one good whop in if you have to get out of a situation. Now, what I would like to see is a baton like this that had a really high-powered, at least 1000 lumen tactical flashlight. There is crenellated bezel there on the front, and there is this spiked pattern here that would definitely not feel nice. If you want to get one of these, just Google stun baton. Up next is flares. Now, these are for the purpose of signaling. You may have seen some videos. Paul Harrell did one recently where he tested the effectiveness of a flare pistol for self-defense. Unfortunately, it didn't fare that well. There have been tests that I've seen in the past where people have had more favorable results. Unfortunately, in that test, did not work well at all. Now, there are different types of flare guns. This Orion flare pistol is one of the weaker versions. You can get high-end German flare pistols, which are going to cost you a lot more money and which are going to pack a lot more punch, because oftentimes you see these in apocalyptic movies being used by characters as a means of self-defense. Is it better than nothing in a pinch? Probably, but it can also backfire. Another option is a bear flare. This is not to be confused with a normal road flare. This is about 100 times more powerful than your standard road flare in terms of the amount of light that it gives off, the amount of heat that it gives off, most importantly if we're talking about self-defense, and the sound and smoke that it gives off. This is basically going to act like a 60-second blowtorch, and anybody who's within a few feet in front of this is going to feel the burn real quick. I'm not sure if you can buy these in the United States, but you can Google bear flare for more information. They're actually for the purpose of bear deterrence. So you would think that it might work on other two-legged predators. But again, this is not advice, this is purely hypothetical. Up next is something that I've talked about at length on this channel before, and that's using flashlights, high-powered flashlights, to stun somebody who's trying to attack you. Once again, just gonna give you a bit more time to get your ass out of dodge or to stage an offensive. Now you can get smaller flashlights like this, which are considered tactical because of the amount of lumens that they output. Usually the amount of lumens that you're going to need for a flashlight to be effective in temporarily blinding somebody, I'm going to say, conservatively speaking, over 500 lumens. Even though 200 lumens with the right amount of focus beam intensity can definitely be very blinding, and a lot of these flashlights have what's called a crenellated strike bezel at the end of it. So you can see these crenellations on the end of the light. On some flashlights they're going to be more pronounced than others, but these are for the purpose of striking, and you can also use this to support your fist as a coup baton. So tactical flashlights like this one are around 1,000 lumens, but you can also get monsters like this that are 100,000 lumens and are likely going to blind whole armies. Let's turn it on so you can watch my face light on fire. It's a dystopian future. All of your rights have been taken away. You don't have any means of self-defense anymore, and you're waiting on the next annual installment of the Hunger Games. What can you use as a means of self-defense in a pinch? Well, most people don't realize it, but a fire extinguisher can be a real nuisance if you're a bad guy. And these things are going to project a powdered chemical, which is going to definitely be an irritant, which may stop somebody in their tracks, buying you just enough time to get out of dodge. And of course, you can use it as a blunt object as well if you need to attack some bad guys. Now, it's my understanding that in addition to potentially being an irritant to a person who's attacking you, it's primarily to be used as a smoke screen in order to either confuse or stun a person, which is going to allow you time to either escape that situation or mount a counteroffensive. Self-defense instructors recommend, if you are in an active shooter scenario, this is also a way that you can defend yourself in a pinch. In any major commercial building, I believe fire regulations are going to vary, but it's something to the effect of between every 50 and 75 feet, you're going to find a fire extinguisher which you may be able to use for the purpose of self-defense. They're very easy to use. I would suggest that if you have one in your home, you get familiar with it. And if you don't have one in your home, then you're slipping, because that's one of the first preps you should absolutely have. Up next are your pepper sprays, also known as mace, capsaicin. These, in Canada at least, are for the purpose of deterring wildlife attacks. So that could be dog and coyote attacks, or bears, cougars, things of that nature. These are not intended, and in fact are prohibited for use against human beings in Canada, unfortunately. But other places around the world, you can buy this type of chemical agent for that specific purpose. But I need to emphasize that in Canada, it's considered a prohibitive weapon and only sold for the purpose of wildlife defense. That said, capsaicin is a chemical which is used for crowd control by the police. It's a common self-defense tool. Now the question is, how effective is this stuff really? It releases a wide cone spray, so you don't have to be incredibly accurate with it. The problem is, it's probably going to take up to 30 seconds in some cases for it to incapacitate an aggressor. But if you can survive the first few seconds, it's going to increase the odds that you're going to get out of that situation unscathed. This next item I've reviewed on the channel before. This is the Indestructible Security Umbrella. It's comprised of a composite shaft. It has a stainless steel knob on the end, and it also has a hardwood knob on the other side. And this is just a great little self-defense tool. It's very discreet. It's basically just an umbrella which is built to be indestructible, and it definitely packs a wall up. Now, the utility of something like this is going to depend on where you live. If you live where I live and it's the apocalypse and you haven't gotten rain in forever, then this is probably not going to be of as much use, because you're not going to want to carry it around. This is something that you're going to want to keep on your person as a part of your EDC. If you live in a place like Vancouver or London, or a place where it rains a lot, then this is definitely going to be a great option. And it's also a really great umbrella. You can see it's auto opening, and it actually would provide some sort of shielding capability as well, in addition to being damn near indestructible. I've beat the crap out of these in a previous video, so I would encourage you, if you want more information, go check out the video I did on it. This thing, I absolutely love it. I just wish it would rain so I would have a reason to carry it around. Now, in terms of close combat, melee style zombie weapons, I think that my weapons of choice would have to be the katana and this tomahawk here. This is a cold steel warrior katana, and to be honest, the only reason why I'm showing you this right now is that we had a lot of fun shooting some B-roll and we needed to use it. Also, this is the cold steel trench hawk. This is probably one of my favorite zombie tools. Probably won't serve a lot of other functions. There's much better axes and hatchets out there, but I tell ya, if it came down to me versus the undead, this and this katana would absolutely be my go-to. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know in the comment section below. If you don't have access to things that go pew-pew in your country, what are you gonna do when the zombie apocalypse happens to defend yourself? Let me know. Thanks for watching. Canadian Prepper out.
The best way to support this channel is to support yourself by gearing up at CanadianPreparedness.com. The best quality products at the best prices. Use discount code SURVIVALPREPPER, all caps, all one word, for 10% off. Thanks for watching. Stay safe.